Okie dokie. So, do you guys want to react to people making horrible life decisions and going massively into debt? Look, $133,000 in debt at 26 years old, working in the oil field. I wonder if it's like student loans, though.
I am currently in $133,000 in debt.
My 2024 Amex wrapped, not as a rich person, but just as a financially irresponsible 25-year-old.
Americans' credit card balances have hit an all-time high of more than $1.2 trillion.
Okay, so today we have
So, there's a lot of people I know that are doing this shit. Like, Kier was telling me about his roommates that they make good money. They make like $130,000 a year, I guess, if they actually go to work. Both of them call out of work all the fucking times. They don't actually make that much. But dude, every dollar that comes in, they spend immediately on just shit, food, like junk food, and like Temu shit, just garbage, shit that you buy and then immediately throw away.
another round of insane credit card debt to look into, with the overall household debt climbing.
Temu is like a direct from China. Like it's a store that sells stuff direct from like Chinese factories, which they're not doing anymore because of the tariffs. You get to pay 145% tariff. Yeah, they're not doing it anymore.
$18 trillion recently, and
it's usually garbage
per person for Gen Z is $3,000.
Average credit card debt varies by age and sources ranging from about $3,500 to $9,500. Average credit debt by age, $3,400 for Gen Z, $6,900, nice, $6,900 for millennials, and then Gen X is $9,500. Dude, like, that's insane, especially with credit cards now having like an APR of 30%. You can't get out from under the debt, like especially once you get like close to like $10,000. There's an actual credit card calculator. Let's go here, like 95.5, right? So we're gonna go here. It's gonna be 955. I think it was 7, right? Interest rate 18%. I fucking wish. Nowadays it's more about 30%. Pay a certain amount. If you pay $200 a month, how long will it take you to pay this off? $200 per month. It is unlike, you can't pay it off. You legit, if you pay $200 a month, it is unlikely that you can pay off a balance with a monthly payment of $200. You'll need to pay a higher amount than $238. You literally cannot pay it off. So, I mean, I think it would be more like reasonable to do like, I don't know, like let's say like $1,000 a month, I think. So it'll take you a year to pay it off. The total interest you'll pay, look, so this is the reason why I pay off my credit card at the end of every month. And that's because if I don't, I get hit with interest. You spent nearly $10,000, but then you lose an additional like $1,500 fucking dollars. And most people I don't think can afford to do $1,000, like $800 a month, maybe. And it's gonna take you over a year. I think a lot of people have more, like I've seen people with insane credit card debt though, that's like more than this. Look, you end up paying $2,000, you just lose money. It doesn't make any sense.
$456. Millennials, you have $6,932, and Generation
Mine's,
X was $9,550.
no, this is credit card debt. I was gonna say I have 0, and I was like, oh wait, but student loans, that doesn't count. It's just credit card debt. I pay off my balance at the end of each month.
$7, almost $10,000 each. And unfortunately, these figures are only climbing higher when more data comes out.
I recently posted about the fact I'm 26 years old and I'm in 95.
How? Dude, this better not be fucking, like this better include student loans. $95,000?
$1,487.73 worth of debt, and I want to talk about it. Up until 24 hours ago, I did not know that was actually the total of all of my debt, credit cards, and student loans.
Okay,
that
okay.
Number also
I'm hoping a majority of it is student loans. Generally, interest rates for that are low. The interest rate for my student loans are 4.5 and 4%. So I don't pay them off because the interest rate is lower than the amount of money I would make by putting it into the market, right? So if I invest it, I'm going to get a larger return than if I paid off my loans. And also, I'm kind of hoping that I just die before my loans get paid off. I kind of don't care. Husky Coin, I give out Husky loans. The APR, don't worry about it. It's like 500%. It's like a payday loan. Don't worry about it. Just take the loan.
does not include my auto loan, and if we are adding in my auto
Oh, gee, why?
loan, the total number is $110,930.
She better make good money.
The actual chokehold, my debt.
How do you get 101? 101,000 just in student loan. I hope it's like not an adjustable rate too. The adjustable rate goes up when the Fed increases the interest rate on bonds. When that goes up, the rate on these loans go up as well. So this will start racking up massively.
On me as a 26-year-old with over $100,000 in student loan debt.
I owe the IRS $34,000.
Oh, those are not people you want to owe money to. They'll send you to jail. No. I mean, they might have you on payment plan and they might not put you in jail for not paying taxes as long as you're paying it down. But like, fuck, you do not want to fuck with the IRS.
Okay, next we have my car loan, which I
How do you owe that much money?
$23,000.
How do you owe that much money to the IRS though? Did you just like not pay taxes at all?
$295 on that. And
So you owe this much money and then you went out and purchased the vehicle you probably can't afford. Okay, got
I
it.
have 6 credit cards, and across all of them, I owe
Oh, credit cards are the worst. Why do you have 6? Dude, I only have 2. I only have 2 cards. And one of them is because I only keep around because it's my oldest form of credit history.
but $7,465.
Let's budget my paycheck together as a girly who is 28 and $67,000 in credit cards.
So I do want to say a majority of these people are just recording their journeys of hopefully paying off all of their debt. But I have started to see some creators popping up out of nowhere saying ridiculous figures on debt, getting a good amount of views, a good amount of engagements and followers, and then any future video after that really does fall off, and then they
So is it creators doing it just to like, because it's the trendy thing? I think that's kind of cringe.
just kind of stop uploading. So either they lose the motivation of actually paying it off and uploading videos, or some of these people could be doing it for the attention and the followers and likes, and eventually would be monetization, money from TikTok are even real. So I'm definitely not saying most of these people are faking their debts, especially from these statistics we went over, but we could see in the next clip how popular this becomes, just showing how much money you spend. Basically being able to flaunt everything you do online, and it works. It gets the views. It gets...
I hate, like, it's not even content, bro. Look at how much money I spend. Bro, look at how much money I spend. It's like, okay, so you're rich. Like, who cares?
the attention and makes other people want to do it as well.
My 2024 Amex Wrapped, not as a rich person, but just as a financially irresponsible
Not as a rich person, but financially irresponsible. I have a feeling that's not true.
25-year-old. I'm here with my mom, who is very frugal. This year I took 12 unnecessary vacations, upgraded to first
This dude has to be fucking rich. No, 12 unnecessary vacations, upgraded to first class 6 times. Do you know how like, depending on the flight, upgrading to first class can cost like $10,000. That's insane.
Somebody who's very irresponsible, and that's just a complete lie. If you go to his page,
Okay, I knew it.
Almost 3.5 million.
Yeah, if you have this many followers on something like this and you're doing sponsored content, he's making bank, dude. There's no way.
Followers. This is somebody who's huge on social media in general. So showing how irresponsible his spending is, clearly he's making a ton of money. He's not in the same situation as a majority of the clips we're going to see in this.
So what he's doing is he's just lying for attention. He's like, oh yeah, look guys, I'm not rich. I'm just really dumb. And look at all the money I spend. You guys should do it too. And it's like, dude, you're not. You're probably fine.
This guy makes and how famous he is, honestly. And these types of trends and videos start spreading to people who don't have that kind of money and just get into copious amounts of debt.
It's really weird to me because I think all he's doing is just sitting here and bragging. Like, look at how much money I spend.
So we can look at the recent figures that came out for credit card debt in general.
Americans' credit card balances have hit an all-time high of more than
Guys, nothing's gonna go wrong with this at all. Credit card debt hitting 1.2 trillion. Don't worry about it. Nothing will go wrong with this whatsoever. It's not like there's some sort of massive economical downturn on the horizon right now for the United States. It's not like what do you call it? America's what economy has shrunk for the first time in a very long time. It's not like companies are starting to do layoffs and are starting to reduce their output because importing from China now is too expensive. It's not like that's going on right now. Nothing bad's going to happen with this.
$1.2 trillion. That's according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York.
Yeah, I use a credit card because I pay it off at the end of the month, so I get rewards, right? For me, paying off my credit card means that having a credit card is a benefit to me, and I just control my spending. So I get points that I can then use for rewards, like airline flights. So that's what I do. But for the average American, what they do is they rack up a credit card bill. I went on a date recently, and the girl was telling me about the Chase Sapphire card or whatever. She was like, you should get one because they're doing a rewards thing right now where if you spend $5,000 in 3 months, you get like a shit ton of points, rewards points. It's like $1,000 worth of rewards points or something. I can't remember what it was exactly. I think it was like maybe $500 of rewards points for free on top of the rewards points that you're already getting. I can check on it again. Chase Sapphire, was it preferred? Can't remember which one it was. Earn 10,000 or 100,000 bonus points after you spend $5,000 on purchases in the first 3 months from account opening. So they do this on purpose. So you're like, oh, 3 months, I have to spend $5,000. I have to go and I have to get $5,000 on this card so I can get the bonus points. And the idea behind this is they're encouraging you to spend more than you can afford so that you have a balance on the credit card that you can't pay off, because they will earn more off you than the 100,000 points that they're giving you for free. Air quotes, free. That is the idea. That is the deal. They're trying to get you to go into debt so that you end up spending more money than they give you for free. Because we saw earlier, right? If we go back here to this credit card calculator, let's say you get let's just say $10,000 in debt, and your interest rate, what is their interest rate? Looks like it's 19 to 28%, which actually isn't that bad. Variable APR. So let's go middle of the road, say it's like 25%, right? And let's say you can only afford $600 a month, and then we'll calculate it. So they're gonna give you $1,000 worth of points. However, your interest is $2,400 paid, if this is what you can afford. $600 a month to pay down the credit card. Because if you're this type of person, I can guarantee you right now, you probably have multiple credit cards that you are in debt on, and you probably can't afford much more than that $600 because you have other credit cards you have to pay off the balance for. Most people, they just do monthly minimum payments. They're just like, oh yeah, like I just make my monthly minimum payment, and that's it. I don't worry about it. And if you do that, like you saw, like you can't. What would the monthly minimum payment be for this? I wonder if I can find a calculator for that. Minimum payment calculator on a credit card. What's your credit card balance? Say it's $10,000. The interest rate, we went with 25%. Interest plus 1% of balance. Your monthly minimum is $308. So again, we come over here to this calculator. So I'm guessing that this is like normal. Like these are probably all the different ways that different credit card companies, I'm guessing they choose this by default because it's a sane default. Minimum payment, calculate. Look, if you do this, it'll take you 365 months to be rid of your debt, and you will end up paying $20,000 in interest. So that means you pay off the $10,000 plus $20,000 on top of that. That's $30,000. This is why you don't do monthly minimums. It's insane. You just shouldn't be doing this.
Debt is also at a record high of more than $18 trillion. This surge in consumer debt suggests many Americans are struggling to keep up with rising
Okay, buddy. Okay.
costs.
And I definitely understand that it's not like every
Bully
single
me.
person in credit card debt right now is in trouble because they just got a Mercedes SUV, or they took another cruise they couldn't afford, or just went to the Louis Vuitton store and bought a whole bunch of designer crap. Many people have been hurting.
Some people are just trying to buy food. Here's the thing, right? Credit card debt, very bad. Credit card debt will fuck you over. Absolutely, 100%. However, if you are choosing between eating and going into debt, I absolutely understand why you would choose to eat. I understand if you're just trying to make ends meet, if you're just trying to eat, and I don't mean going out to eat. I mean, you're going out and you're buying groceries and you're cooking for your family and you're scrounging, right? For whatever you can to make sure that you can afford for you and your family to survive. I understand that. That makes sense. The thing that doesn't make sense to me is I know too many people, they're buying designer things that they can't afford and they're putting it on a credit card. So that $600 handbag or whatever turns into a $1,000 handbag because of the interest that you're going to end up paying for. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I know people, like, that it's the same issue with Klarna, right? You go and you buy a computer on Klarna, right? There's a person that I know that fucking did this and they're fucking stupid. So they went and they bought a computer on Klarna. And what Klarna is, hey, what we do is we take the cost of this computer and you're going to make 4 payments monthly and then you're going to pay it off. If you pay it off at the end of that time, you have 0% interest. If you miss a single one, I don't know what their interest rate, it might be 30%. I can look it up. Let me Google. Klarna interest rate. 35%, 35.99. But not only that, they retroactively apply the interest rate. So if you miss a payment, they will retroactively take the entire cost. So let's say you bought a computer that was like $1,500, right? And they go, oh, well, this loan was for $1,500. So $1,500 plus 35% now. And the thing is they're playing a numbers game. So sure, there's a lot of people out there that are getting their 0% interest payment, right? But what they're banking on is that 1 month, you're going to have an accident. 1 month, you're going to end up in the hospital. 1 month, you're just going to get sick and can't go to work. And you're not going to have enough money to make that payment. And that's all they need. They just need from you 1 month. 1 month where you're unable to make that payment, and then you're essentially stuck in a payday loan that you cannot get out from under.
Okay, there are people paying off the debt and turning around their finances, and hopefully that's what these videos persuade people to do. Watching the 5 and 6 figures worth of credit card debt and people laughing it off because either they don't care and they're never going to pay it off, or it's just funny and they want to share it for views. Just absolutely destroying their lives. And if I could show you some of these clips, hopefully it'll persuade you guys to not be in their situation like this next clip.
I'm 22 years old and I have about $100,000 worth of debt to my name. $55,000 of that debt is towards my car loan.
You're a fucking moron. Genuinely, I think when I go on dates, I need to start asking people, like, if their car, like, how much do you owe on your car? Like that's so stupid. $55,000 on an auto loan. Like, and it's like, I don't know, is she rich though? If she's rich, like that might not fucking matter. But if she's out here doing like this video, unless it's just for clicks, then
This is the car in all of its glory. It's a 2022 Ford Bronco. Love this car. The top comes off. Don't you just love
I want her to talk about how much she earns. Because if she only earns like $80,000 a year or less, and she has that car, then you're brain dead. I don't know how else to tell you this.
I love them so much. The interest rate on my loan is about 10%. I have no idea what that means, nor do I care, honestly.
Like, dude, I was looking at the Corvette and the interest rate was it's 9.99% if you have like perfect credit. And I'm just like, I would rather buy that bitch in cash. Because what it does is it just adds. So if the car that I'm looking at costs about $70,000, that means it's going to, at the end of it, cost you about $77,000. She owes $55,000, so she's going to end up paying another $5.5K just in interest.
I'm already in this hole. Might as well sit in it, you know? I was making a lot of money off the internet. I had a good credit score.
And then the money dried up.
Income, so I got approved for a large car loan. And I decided to buy this car. Do I look absolutely good driving this car? Yes, I do. But that is not the reason why I bought this car. I bought this car to look cool, to impress people, and that's simply not true. I bought this car because it's been my dream car forever.
What the fuck? You're stupid as shit. Oh, it's my dream car. Nobody fucking cares. You're fucking your life, you idiot. Okay, so you become homeless and you end up living in the car. Good job.
Means to buy it. Was it my best
Please say your income.
financial decision? No. Obviously not, but I'm definitely going to be driving this car forever. I can see my kids learning how to drive.
How much do you want to bet that this car is going to have issues?
In this car. The downside to this car though, I spend a lot of money on gas. Probably spend like $120, $130 every single week. I'm not getting rid of
A
it. I already
week?
put
Jesus
so much money into
Christ.
the car.
Oh, yeah, some
that
cost
it
fallacy,
does
that's
not make
fine.
sense for me to sell it. If I did sell it, I would only
You'd
sell
be
it for
in
less
debt.
than
Yeah. What she's saying is, by the way, this is what she's saying. The car is worth less than what she owes on it. So even if she sells it, she still has to pay off the rest of the loan. This is how I can tell that she is a dipshit.
remaining on my car loan. I know you guys hate to see a young girl drive a nice car, but at the end of the day, I bought this car all by myself with no co-signers, no help from my parents. You live and you learn, okay?
All right, so we got a couple things to go over. First, you got the Bronco two-door.
I just want to know what her income is so I can tell if she's actually like brain dead. Oh, I did it for me. I deserve this. I guess when you end up living in your vehicle, I guess you also deserve that too. Like, it's hard for me to feel sympathy when people are brain dead. It's just kind of Darwinism, right? Listen, you're making really stupid financial decisions, and if things go to shit, you might end up out on your ass, and that's what you deserve. Like, I want I want the Stingray, right? I want the Corvette. I'm not buying it because economic times look really bad right now. I don't know if a year from now, if I may or may not have a job, right? And so if I lose a job, I would rather have this money away in savings so that I have something to fall back on and keep myself from going homeless. I have priorities, and they're the right priorities.
I mean, actually, first, you've got.
And also, it's important to point out, she did this during the pandemic. It's a 2023.
Bronco.
The stimmy money, that's what it was.
Yeah. The other thing with people's dream cars all the time, this was really your dream car forever, because the Bronco that she's currently in came out in 2021. I highly doubt her dream car when she was a little kid was the original Bronco.
Yeah.
Because this one didn't exist yet, and people saying that it's their dream car is just another excuse most of the time. It's just something they've liked for the past couple of years, and now
it's a coping mechanism. Don't worry, guys. I made really bad decisions because it's my dream.
To purchase it, and when something new and shiny comes out in a couple years, that'll be the new dream car. So I highly doubt her children are going to be learning how to drive in this vehicle. Again, I will say I like the way the Bronco looks. I know that they are very unreliable, so there's a good chance that
oh yeah, it is a Ford, isn't it? I heard that Ford does have reliability issues. So it's like, what? So the car's going to get like 5 years old. And generally what happens with cars after they get 5 years old is they start like the cost of the mechanical issues to repair it cost more than the loan. So it becomes unsustainable to keep the car. So you're like, well, I might as well just go get a new car because the cost to maintain this car is more than a new car. But she can't even do that because the car is worth less than the fucking loan. New Fords anyway. Yeah, like, I think it's been that way for a while with Fords for the most part.
That this vehicle won't even make it to their kids learning to drive. And now the car's worth less than the loan she has on it, negative equity, and she's not going to sell it. But we could look at some of the comments. 10% on a $55,000 car with a $1,300 a month payment is nightmare fuel. Don't blame capitalism on this. It's just poor decision making. I thought that was funny in the same breath. She didn't even know what an interest rate was. Hey, so you don't have the means to buy it if you're in debt. Hope that helps.
True.
Good credit score.
True.
But got approved for 10% interest, complains about capitalism, but still buys a $55,000 car. We've seen a little bit about this creator, and she's, let's just say, not great with her decision making.
I am currently in $133,000 in debt. $110,000 of that is strictly just on my camper, my truck, and my baby mama's car.
Oh, it's all shit you don't need, brother. Oh my God. Is he living in the camper? Did he buy like an expensive ass RV?
Then I have about $8,000 worth of credit card debt a month because I use my credit cards to pay for most of my bills.
Now, he is working out in the oil field, and I was curious, and I looked it up. because I saw this at the very beginning and I was like, you know what? I'm going to save this video. They don't make, like, I was like, oh, you know, if he works on like an oil rig or something, like those guys make bank. They make good fucking money, dude. Working on an oil rig, fuck yeah. I'm like, oh, 130, you know, that might not be bad. He might be able to get out from under it. No, he just works on a oil field. And apparently they only make like 20 some odd dollars, like 25, 26, $27 an hour. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, he's fucked.
And it also helps increase my credit score. I also work on the oil field.
That is not how that works, brother.
So I don't feel too bad, but I just have to make sure that I do continue to do a good job at my work, because if I don't, then I would lose a lot of money.
So his thought process was only $8,000 worth of credit card debt, but it was okay because he was paying his bills with it, and that would increase your credit score. Well, if you don't pay the card off, the credit score is going to go down, and that $8,000 will get a lot worse whether you have 20%.
Because what happens is it's based on your credit utilization, right? So if you have like a $15,000 credit limit card and you have $8,000 on it, it goes, oh, you have like 50% utilization. That's a lot. Credit score go down. It's not good.
Or 36% interest. And I know he's in the oil field. If you look any of those videos up, you can make a lot of money, but you're basically sleeping in your truck every day, which is why he's also in the $100,000 plus for the camper and his truck and everything else.
That's why. Okay.
Right away. And he says he has to keep doing a good job or he would get
but
fired.
But I mean, he could have bought a used truck. I'm not meowing. I'm not singing the Meow Mix song. I'm a husky. I'm a dog.
Ton of money. And in this job market, we've seen time and time again, very, very unforgiving. So he's on a path right now that he cannot make any more mistakes or his life would get way worse.
Get ruined. Yeah. He might not even be able to live in the truck or the camper because they'll get repossessed.
And it makes this clip look not that bad. Don't feel bad. I'm $247,000.
What? No, feel bad, but you should feel worse. What the fuck? You're good. The next 4 years are going to be wild. Stack that money. Oh, yeah, I don't think so. The more money you make, the more money you spend. And that's how you end up rich, but broke.
In debt. You're good. The next 4 years are going to be wild. Stack that money.
These numbers can't be real.
The oil field is easy. Yes, of course you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to be away from your family and sleeping in your pickup truck all the time. But it is also physically demanding with all of the trades. Doing these types of jobs for years and years and decades even, with the good pay, could really take a toll on your body. Another comment, the more money you make, the more you spend. And we saw when we went over some of the Dave Ramsey clips with the callers that were making hundreds of thousands. I mean, like $300,000 a year. Crazy life-changing money that anybody would be happy to make, and they would be in $800,000 worth of debt because they started buying a whole bunch of trucks and a vacation home.
I feel like that's the mindset a lot of people get into, make more money, and rather than spending what they normally would, they just splurge. Dude, that's what it is. It's all about like status symbols. Right? I know people that like every time a new iPhone comes, like there's this person that I know in my sports league. She buys the new iPhone every time a new iPhone comes out, but she's barely above minimum wage. And I'm like, bro, you're probably struggling to make ends meet with rent. Why are you buying a new iPhone every year? What are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. Dude, I make more money. Do you know what I've been doing with that money? I used to work at Blizzard. I got laid off. My income has multiplied by slightly over 3x. The cost of rent though has gone up for me though quite a bit. I no longer have a roommate. And my rent is more expensive because I live in LA. But a vast majority of the money goes into investments. I'm hoping to retire early. Or buy a house. Like I have enough money I could put a down payment on a house. Not here in California. Also, I wouldn't want to buy a house here in California because, fire insurance, all the insurance companies have pulled out and nobody's offering insurance anymore. So if there's another wildfire, you could spend money on a $600,000 house and then it gets burnt down and then you have nothing. Not doing that. Nope.
home along with their huge house and just making their problems even worse when they could have a really nice life. And another one, me at 25 being $400,000 in debt. And love it. We have a very true statement from one of you guys. You know what's interesting? If you want to travel to the US, you need to have a credit card. A lot of places don't even allow payments using debit cards or cash now. Cashless is a huge thing. I had to get a credit card just for the trip, pay with it, and instantly pay the debt via app using my debit card. That's so ridiculous. Now, at least for me, I only use credit cards because I have never missed a late payment in my entire life. And if you really know what to do with the credit cards, you get extra points and miles and cash.
You benefit from it. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you don't go into debt, there's a benefit to it. And the reason they give you these benefits is because they're trying to encourage you to go into debt. You just have to not do it. You just buy, like, literally use a credit card as a debit card and you're fine. Go live in Washington. Yeah, but the problem is the West Coast is very dry. And I have a feeling that the forest fires are going to continue. Like, they're going to spread. I think Washington has forest fires as well. Not as bad as California. But because of climate change, I think it's going to get worse. I think I need to move back to the East Coast where it's more humid.
Be smart with it. And honestly, some people just don't think like that. They get a credit card and they think it's free money. And it's a borderline addiction, swiping as much as they possibly could, just racking up tons of debt. So when there's more and more places not allowing cash to be used or debit cards, it makes it a little bit harder for some people not to go in debt.
Defaults on credit card loans are the highest they've been in over a decade.
Ooh, that's not a good sign. That's not a good... So what, the last time this happened was during the recession?
Industry data shows lenders...
I wonder what that means.
...wrote off $46 billion in seriously delinquent or late loan balances in the first 9 months of this year, up 50% from last year. Moody's Analytics...
50%.
...says the bottom third of consumers are just tapped out, with the savings rate near zero following years of high inflation and interest rates.
And there is no...
To be true, especially like with low-income people are getting fucked because every company now is trying to basically bleed a rock, right? Hey, we need to increase profits for our shareholders. What are we going to do? We're going to keep increasing prices, keep increasing prices, keep increasing prices. Dude, the government, I was reading about this or I saw like a YouTube video about it. So... I'm not sure if you know this, but there was the avian flu crisis, right? Which killed a lot of chickens, which made eggs very expensive. So the U.S. government came in and gave these corporations money in order to subsidize the cost of eggs. Do you know what they fucking did with that money? They pocketed the money and then continued to charge consumers what the normal going rate was. So congratulations. There goes your tax money.
It looks like it's only going to get worse. We have another comment that I have seen a couple times when I start looking.
But yeah, like I was saying though, like, you know, you've heard of shrinkflation, but everyone right now is just inflating costs to increase profitability. So the people at the very bottom are just getting fucked because it's like the cost of living, the cost just to keep yourself fed is continuously going up and up because the C-suite needs to have bigger bonuses and their shareholders need to see stock price go up. So fuck the average person.
For clips online. People sometimes say I'm trusting God with my finances when they mean I have no plan and I'm trying to make it sound good. Maybe in some way they're trying to make somebody else be responsible for their finances instead of them and just take away the blame or the accountability in the whole situation, which just sounds ridiculous. And to me, most likely it'll just end up in even more debt. This comment goes along with the car payments. I'll pay my car in 84 months because I'll still be using it by then. But they won't buy a used car from 2 years ago because it's too old. Make it make sense. Some people are just way too stubborn.
For me personally, if things go to shit and I still have money for a car and then cars start getting repossessed, that means I can come in and probably get something for really fucking cheap.
And only want to buy a new car, even though you could take a good portion of the depreciation off just with a couple years. It's not like it's got to be 5 or 10 years old. But now we're seeing 84-month loans, 96 months. We're going to see over 100 pretty soon. And it's only going to fuel up posts like these, where it's just a screenshot. How much credit card debt are you in? I need to feel better about mine. Started this year at $15,000 and now I'm down to about $5.8.
Ooh, good for for
almost
you.
$10,000 down, but then the next comment, $10,000. We listen and we don't judge. Only $500 and I'm stressing. And then the next one is about $50,000. I was in about $40,000 at one
What
point. They're
the
all paid off
fuck,
now,
dude?
but it was hell. I was $12,000 at the beginning of the year, paid it off and back.
The only way you do something this fucking stupid is, again, like just spending money you don't fucking have. You bought shit that you didn't need and should not have been buying. I mean, good for her for paying it off, but still, it's like, I hope you learned something from this so that you don't do it again, because that's just stupid.
At $11,000. Just doing the cycle over and over again, in and out of debt. I don't know how your whole life wouldn't be.
This one didn't learn. Girl, I was at 12K at the beginning of the year, paid off, and then now back at 11K. You didn't fucking learn. You're doing the same shit over and over and over again.
Miserable. The amount of stress I would have all the time. Credit card debt about $4,000-ish. Don't ask about the student loans though. Just credit cards $8,500, not including my loan for the car. Plus,
oh, Afterpay, Affirm. Look, they've got the trifecta: credit card, Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna. They've got quads here, brother. Whatever you were buying, you couldn't afford it.
Afterpay,
Charity Southern. Yeah, you're a fucking charity case, you dumbass. Jesus Christ.
All the buy now, pay laters that I hate. $26,000 on my car and $10,000 on credit card. I could have just kept reading the comments. I mean, there was almost 2,000 just on this post, but we could switch over to an out of touch post where I guess it was supposed to go along with the trends and the relatable post of people being in debt. But next time you tell someone you're making over 100K, they're living above their means. Remember this. My husband just texted me that he grossed $194,000 this year. Then he texted me his net pay, which is $132,000. Yes, of course, taxes are going to be brutal. An extra $60,000 would go pretty far for almost anybody. But
what the fuck?
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. I don't get usually I just get told to kill yourself, you know? It's nice to get complimented for once, you know? Maybe the internet isn't such a terrible place after all. But also I wanted to say, why is she making this face? Oh, I make 190 whatever K, and then net is 130 something after tax. Bitch, how much do you pay? Or how much do you make?
You're still talking $11,000 a month net, and then you start seeing the crazy payments. A $4,600 mortgage. Yes, we can afford it. Upper middle class and rich.
Don't they say once you're over 100K, you're like upper class?
Rich are not the same thing. I don't
know
what
buddy.
Kind of post this was supposed to connect to and be relatable with, but we deserve our dream home. We don't.
We deserve our dream home. We deserve our dream cars. We deserve I deserve. You're okay. You're a fucking brat. You're a brat who doesn't value money. You're a brat who doesn't value the work that your husband's doing to earn that much money. Are you fucking kidding me?
Deserve to be taxed to death. And then
the problem's not the taxes, you fucking Oh my God. She's actually retarded. We're getting taxed to death. No, your spending's out of control. You made $193,000. You paid $60,000 in tax. What is that? Like effectively a third? Like it's like 30% or something? Like get the fuck over yourself. You're paying so that other people who are less fortunate than you can get the services that they need in order to fucking survive. You need to spend within your fucking means. You fucking stupid brat. We're upper middle class. No, I can tell you right now, you're a fucking spoiled bitch and you're rich. Shut the fuck up.
Doesn't include my income. Now, I don't think a lot more money than most people are making in the country, and then having an almost $5,000 mortgage saying that we deserve our dream house. Definitely not a good look to post on TikTok. My net income is $95,000. I feel like I'm swimming in cash because I don't make financial choices.
Look, oh my God, can you believe it? Somebody who makes less than her and feels like they're swimming in cash. Okay. For you, stay mad, Bozo. Like, okay, this fucking, you broke. I genuinely just don't like this person existing. Like, you're broke because you make $95,000 a year, but you live within your means? What the fuck's wrong with you? So you don't respect people based on how much money they make? That's fucking disgusting behavior. I'm the type of person, if I go on a date or something and I saw this woman didn't respect the server, I would not have a second date with her. People at some point deserve basic respect. This is disgusting behavior.
This is like a
how do you unlike a post? How do you
monthly
dislike
mortgage.
a post?
I also drive an old paid off vehicle. I'd rather spend the money on experiences and vacations. $4,600 mortgage. I make $150 gross with a $1,500 mortgage on 5 acres with a pool. So I guess that most likely giant McMansion that's almost $5,000 a month probably wasn't the best.
She could just be living in California, to be fair. Like, you don't need a whole lot in order to be like have a mortgage payment that much. That's the reason why I don't like the mortgage payment for me to get a condo in LA would be over $5,000. So that may or may not include the HOA fee, because when you buy a condo, you have to pay HOA fee. So I'm not buying property here.
No, I know. So $27 a day. Yeah, for a year.
So she's buying a 10K bag and making it make sense by saying it's $27 a day. If you don't have this money in your bank account, you can't afford it. You don't need to.
That you're gonna use every day. It's $27.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not going to be another bag that you want or another thing like that you want. I'm sure that'll never happen. It's actually really cheap when you think about it that way. Yeah, when you're really dumb.
Make it any better either. It's actually really cheap when you think about it that way. And then after a year, it's free. I mean, $10,000 bag, that's crazy. If only we could actually have a payment plan that's $27 a day. And why do you think all of the Klarna and Afterpay are so popular right now because of that? The installment plan.
I need my dopamine right now. I need to buy the thing right now. I need it now. I can't afford it now, but I need it now. Like, okay, so there was that person that I knew that I told you about that bought their PC on Klarna, right? So they bought their PC on Klarna, and it's like, yeah, but it just makes it 4 easy payments. And it's like, well, then just wait 4 months. And then if you can afford it in 4 months, what you should do is save the money for 4 months and then just buy it in cash. That way you don't go into debt. And then if you get sick or if you get injured or if you lose your job, you don't get fucked, right? This is really easy to think about, right? But no, I need my dopamine. I need my PC now. I'm going to go buy it now. That person now in prison, and their computer has been confiscated by the police. I'll let you conclude what they were guilty of. But I also don't know if they made their payments. So they might be in prison without a PC, unable to make their payments. So just try and figure out how fucked they are.
Then just spending the $10,000 right away. Then people end up spending more money than they should, and when the bill comes, they can't pay it, and all the late fees and interest starts racking up and gets just as bad as a credit card, if not worse. But you'll still see clips like this pretty consistently if you start scrolling on TikTok.
I'm 28 years old, and I got all the old timers at work telling me, don't go buy toys, save your money. One day you're gonna have to retire. That one day I could die too. I could die at 30.
Oh, so I get it. His retirement plan is a revolver and 1 bullet. Okay, got it. No one should spend 10K on a bag. Listen, I personally would not spend 10K on a bag, right? I really wouldn't. But you know, if you're out here and you're making millions of dollars a year, like 10K on a bag, like whatever, fuck it. There are people who are in positions where spending $10,000 on a bag is just like their daily spending money, right? And lucky them, that ain't me. Even if it was me, I don't think I'd do it. I live pretty frugally. My car is worth less than my PC setup. My car is worth like $3,000. My PC is worth more than that.
Go buy a boat. Just go buy a boat. Cause all them
okay, it's okay though. Remember, his retirement plan is suck starting a shotgun, so he's okay. It's fine.
Up at the plant, they're all miserable. Every one of them miserable as can be because they never bought a boat. They never bought a nice.
Or, hear me out. Maybe they did the same thing as you, And the reason why they're old timers still working at the plant is because they wasted their money and they can't afford to retire. If you saved the money and invested the money, maybe they could have been able to retire earlier, and then they wouldn't be miserable in the plant.
There's also a lot of posts and videos like this on TikTok. Can everyone tell me about how much?
Can everyone tell me how much they spent on their wedding so I can feel better? Oh, dude, I cannot. Dude, for a one-time thing, I understand wanting to have a wedding or whatever, but for a one-time thing, you do not need to be spending. I know there's people that spend tens of thousands of dollars. The average is $35K for the wedding in the US. Bitch, we're doing a courthouse wedding. Whenever I get married to someone, bro, we're courthouse wedding. Bro, we can just have a part. Like, dude, find you a girl that will accept a ring pop and then just have a house party. Like, doesn't that sound like more fun to you? It does to me. I'd rather just have my friends over. Dude, like, what about like a backyard wedding? I would rather do that. And then like you could just save the money and then use it towards a house. $35,000 fucking dollars for the wedding? Couple hundred at the liquor. Exactly. Couple hundred at the liquor store. Bro, you could probably even actually do like an open bar. Like legitimately, like spend like $5,000. Like fuck, that's what I'd do. $5,000 for an open bar. Fuck it, let's ball. I would do that, absolutely. Maybe it's like $10,000. $10,000 and then just like jam out. You don't even need to hire a DJ. Just set a playlist, hit play on that shit and fucking party. I would do that. Absolutely. If I was marrying someone and they're like, let's just do like a backyard wedding. I don't care about anything else. And then we can just have a fucking rager. Yeah, Spotify. Do the Spotify premium. If you're a content creator as well, just like record it and post it online and then just put it down as a business expense because you recorded it. Boom. There you go. Problem solved. Look. That's what I just said. Michelle, if you get divorced, Ma'am, if you get divorced, hit me up. Backyard wedding, $6,000. I'm fucking down for that. Look, that's what I just said, right?
I guess I should say that's a good thing. $6,000 is way less than what most people spent. The next comment, $30,000. Regret it all. Should have used it to buy a house.
Ma'am, if you're divorced, hit me up. Yeah.
Skyrocketed, of course. Wish we could go back in time.
I mean, she looks kind of cute too. I'm not gonna lie. She looks cute.
And do a micro wedding. My thought process with super expensive weddings, I would understand it more if you had a ridiculous honeymoon where you just disappeared for like a month or two and spent all of this money.
Yeah. Wouldn't you rather spend the money on the honeymoon and have like an experience with your wife? Does that not make more sense? Backyard wedding, open bar, Spotify playlist, and then I would rather like have a really awesome honeymoon. Honeymoon can be open an OF or a Fansly and then record the honeymoon. I get Mr. Jam Jar, I get where this is going. Business expense.
Traveling around the entire world. Feel like that's better money spent than a one-night party for your friends and family. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a wedding, period. I just feel like it would be a lot more fun to take that money and see the world or go on vacation for an extended amount of time. But I guess a lot of people don't think that way. They want to have the one night, the one party that's super extravagant and really expensive and kind of falls into the same situation keeping up with the Joneses because somebody else's wedding looks super nice. So now mine has to be. And then everybody gets into a whole bunch of debt.